Good evening and welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, Velocity Online Racing heads to Twin Motegi for the Apex Stage Coaching 300. Apex Stage Coaching. If you're looking for a little extra speed out there on the track, go check out Apex Stage Coaching. They can help you shave those final few tenths off and get you up there battling for those race wins. Looks like happy hour already over with green flag set to fly here in qualifying. Multiple drivers already heading towards their cars. How you doing? How you feeling, race fans? Once again, I am Darkside Dave in the Cave, bringing you all the action from trackside here tonight. This 1.5 mile oval, it's pretty striking similarities to Darlington Raceway down there in Darlington, South Carolina. There you can see that oblong, the oval egg shape, if you will. Tight turn 3 and 4, very wide sweeping turn ends 1 and 2. We'll have to wait to see how all these drivers do. Let's jump out there trackside with the driver already up to speed. Tell you what, let's jump out there now with Robert Sadler in that 6 machine. Nobody putting in a timed lap. Well, just as I say that, John Christensen gonna cross the line, put in the first time lap. Quick time 28:48:44 for the time being right now. Robert Sadler gonna go second. Isaac Morris, fastest in happy hour, goes top of the speed charts once again. 27:92 for Morris. Kresge also out there on track, slotting in the 5th spot right now. Alex Van de Sand out there as well. Chris Gala, Craig Godso. It looks like Oscar Fredrickson, Dave Sedman, also Dakota Dimage out there. Jim Herrick also out on his time lap. Morris still top of the speed chart. Sadler improves, but only good enough for 5th. So we'll take a look back here with Jim Herrick as he's on his way down the backstretch. Jamie Jenkins right there in the 7th position with his time lapse so far. Good showing out of that number 5 crew. Not hearing a lot of, I don't want to say discontent or complaining down there on the track. Sounds like most drivers are fairly content with the way this tire compound is shaking out here at Twin Motegi. Almost out into that outside wall goes Herrick. That could have been pretty dangerous. Herrick going to go inside the top 5. We'll jump out here now with Alex Van de Sand as he's on his qualifying attempt. Dakota Dimage, what a great jump up through the field all the way up to 2nd on the speed charts, but nobody having anything for Isaac Morris right now, top of the speed charts. 27:92 is the quick time for Morris. Working our way about 3 minutes through this qualifying session as we've got Julian Altena out there on track in his number 1 machine. Altena was your season champion, was leading last week's race at California. Had some trouble on pit road and he fell through the field. Let's see how he shakes out here tonight. First time lap here for Altena, down into 1, now off of turn 2, gonna hang it out to that outside wall. Drivers got to be careful sweeping it out there. You want to get all you can, but you can overstep the boundaries really quick. The marbles get up there, and you're gonna see a couple of these drivers hit that right rear tire off of that wall, and it's going to end their night for sure. Altena going to cross the line first time by. Time lap is 27:99. Very close to that quick time, just 0.07 of a second off as we are only 4 minutes into this 10-minute qualifying session. Almost 19 drivers on the speed charts already. Victor Santos as well as Thomas Geisler out there, and Paul Rodriguez also on his time lap. Oh, and Altena with some trouble. He's not going to complete his 2nd lap. Oh, no. Altina crashes right there. That is going to be, that's going to hurt. Gessler going to come down the back stretch in his number 13 machine sitting, or number 18 machine, I should say, sitting in the 14th position. Coming off a turn 4, going to cross the stripe this time by. Where is he going to slot in? Doesn't improve second time, a little bit slower. Let's see if anybody else is out there on their time lapse. Doesn't look like we've got anybody else out there right now trying to make an attempt at a qualifying lap. So as we've reached the halfway point, looks like qualifying pretty much in the bag. Isaac Morris sitting at the top of the speed charts right now. And while we have a brief moment here in qualifying, gonna remind you race fans of your championship standings as we roll into round number 2 here for the Apex Stage Coaching 300 at Twin Ring Motegi. Luis Nunez taking the top spot last time at California, walking away with the race win. Sitting on top of the year point standings, Matt Houston right there in second. Max Stang third. Oscar Fredrickson very close as well. And there you can see tight points battles all throughout the field after just one round. Look for this round to shake up a little bit more of the point standings here tonight. Nobody out there on track. Do want to mention a few things earlier in the week with your top 20 being qualified in for tonight's race. We had to have a couple of little shootouts to figure out who was going to get a chance to race in tonight's race. Qualifying their way in: Gavin Sanders, Alex Van de Sand, as well as Isaac Morris, Robert Sadler, Dakota Dimash, Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez also making his way in the field via the qualifying sessions earlier throughout the week here for Velocity Online Racing. Also, Tyler Coogan, what a lucky hand he's got. Driver not able to make the field. Marcus Hudson not able to be here tonight, so that opened up the next spot, and the man in line, Tyler Coogan, was right there. He's going to look to capitalize on that run, or on the opportunity to run, I should say. With all the drivers that are going to qualify going ahead and putting down their time lapse, looks like we've got 4 drivers going to start at the rear of the field. Oscar Gonzalez, your last week's race winner. Luis Nunez also going to start at the rear of the field. Oh, actually, Nunez out there on track, and he goes to the second spot. Oh, my goodness, we missed him sneaking it in on us here. Is Nunez. We'll jump out there real fast because he took outside pole with his first time lap. Trying to sneak it in on us. Here is Nunez, and can he take that top spot away? Second time lap, working his way off of 4, sweeping out to the outside lane. Crossing the stripe that time. Did he have enough to improve? And no, gonna slow down just a little bit, and that will officially end the qualifying session here in the here in Velocity Online Racing's Apex Stage Coaching 300. With that being said, race fans, we're going to take a brief commercial break, step away, head down trackside for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Backtrack side as the field starts to roll off the starting grid. We'll get set to run down your starting lineup for tonight's Apex Sage Coaching 300 live here from Twin Motegi Raceway. Luis Nunez taking that top spot away. Looks like Isaac Morris actually going to slot in that second spot. Very interesting there. We'll go ahead and run down your starting lineup. There you see Isaac Morris walking away with the pole position. Luis Nunez right there on the outside pole. Row number 2, Gavin Sanders, followed by Dakota Nemaj, Julian Altena, and Nick DeGroot making up row number 3. Row number 4 here tonight, Matt Houston and Jim Herrick. Rounding out the top 10, Alex Van de Sant and Tyler Coogan. Gonna scroll through the rest of your starting lineup here tonight. Rounding out the top 10, Shane Coogan right there. Paul Rodriguez back in the 21st spot. There you see all of the drivers as the pace car is down and out of the way. We're set to go green flag racing once again here tonight in Velocity Online Racing's Apex Sage Coaching 300 green flag flies. For the first time here tonight, drivers scatter down the front stretch. Everybody trying to make their way around the track early here tonight. Up at the front, Isaac Morris starts to step away from Luis Nunez, who has help right behind him, has trouble. Gavin Sanders all over that rear wing, right on the gearbox. Nunez blocks the inside run. Sanders not going to be able to do anything with it. Drivers begin to get single file gaps beginning to develop at the front of the field as Morris steps off to a half of a second advantage. There you see a battle as Julian Altena takes that inside lane. He's going to slot himself into the forward spot. Dakota Demaj says, no, you don't. Strong on the outside line. That run has got him back inside that top 5, running in the 4th position. Altena gonna slot back to 5th. Battles all over the speedway right now. Tyler Coogan back there battling for the 10th spot on track. Has Thomas Gessler right there in front of him. And oh, Matt Houston, what has happened to Houston? Falling through the field. Houston, big time checkup. Not sure what happened with Houston, but he has dropped through the field. And there you see big time trouble for Houston, still trying to recover. His machine may very well be damaged. We'll jump back up at the front as we've got a battle for that second spot on the track. Luis Nunez still trying to keep himself up in front of Gavin Sanders, who is hot on his trail. Very close battle back here. Take a look at this one going on. There's 2-3 cars all lined up with each other. Thomas Gessler, Alex Van de Sande, as well as Victor Santos right here in this 3-car, almost 4-car. If you go ahead and toss Tyler Coogan into that battle as well. And Isaac Morris, man, oh man, talking about making the best of your situation. Driver had to qualify his way in for a chance to race here tonight, and he has absolutely benefited all he could. Walked away with the pole position, now leading all of the laps so far here tonight and enjoying a 1.4 second advantage on lap number 6 out of the 120 scheduled in tonight's official race distance, the Apex Sage Coaching 300. Do want to give a brief shout out to our affiliate sponsor, Raceverse, out there. Big shout out to Matt for all he's done. Big commitment to all the league and all the drivers out here running, sponsoring the top 5 purse, $100 paid out this season here in Velocity Online Racing. So big shout out to each and every one of you, and especially you, Matt, back there at Raceverse. Crossing the line to begin lap number 8, Isaac Morris, your pole sitter, continues to skate away from the field. Race advantage now knocking on the door of 2 seconds, so we'll head back a little further through the field. Tell you what, why don't we run down your top 5 as they are early here on track. Sitting in that top spot at the front of the field, Isaac Morris, driver of that 63 machine, getting the job done so far here, has led the entire race after... Oh, and caution flag comes out. Tyler Coogan caught up in this one. We'll have to take a look back here, see if we can't see what happened with Tyler. Gonna go back, see if we can't find that. Looks like they said we had it queued up. There you see some trouble there. Coogan loose off of 4 into the inside wall, and around he goes. And that's pretty much all she wrote. Car absolutely destroyed right now. Carnage and chaos early here on track. We'll join the field back up with your race leader, Isaac Morris, as he catches up behind the Ford Mustang pace car. We find ourselves under caution for the first time here tonight at Twin Ring Motegi for Apex Sage Coaching 300. And it looks like not liking the caution laps here. Few drivers making some early moves in the race, looks like. Biggest mover of the race so far, driver of that 18 machine, Thomas Geisler, right there in the 9th position. He's going to hit pit road. Multiple drivers already coming down pit road. Very interesting tire strategy. Not sure if they're going to have enough to make it on a fuel or not. Very different fuel cells here. In the Indy cars, these Delaras are known for going long race distances. And it looks like we have had about half of the field come down pit road. Your top 12 all staying out on track. And as we wait for some drivers to rejoin the field, we'll look around, see if we can't see anybody out there with any damage from that last incident. Heard a little chatter on the radio about drivers may have been running over a little bit of debris. And it looks like everybody is still okay. Matt Houston looks like he may have had a little bit of contact, a little bit of issues as well. Tyler Coogan, Michael Jeffries, they're both back behind pit wall right now. Very long stay on pit road for Jeffries, so multiple drivers caught up after a spin and contact. That's going to put 3 drivers off the pace. 3 drivers off of the lead lap. Very early here tonight for the Apex Sage Coaching 300 for Velocity Online Racing Season 2, Round 2, live here at Twin Ring Motegi Field. We'll get ready to fire things off this time around, I do believe. Let's see how those pace car lights are looking. Should see them off up here in the distance. And maybe actually having one more to go. Field still staying pretty spread out right now. Should see them start to group themselves back up together here when we get ready to go back. Green flag racing. They're going to make their way off of turn number 2 this time by. We should be set to go back green flag racing here at Twin Ring Motegi. Long caution laps here at Twin Ring Motegi. 1.5 mile, a little bit of a oblong egg shape oval, if you will. But nonetheless, these drivers are able to make it around here. Sub 30 seconds, sub a half a second before, while under green flag conditions. Wonder what the ARBs as well as those the weight checkers are looking like out there for multiple drivers. You got to be, I would imagine, on the brake and down through a gear or 2 heading off into turns 1 and 2 very tight, or I should say turn 3 and 4 very tight. 1 and 2 a little bit more sweeping, a little bit wider. There you can see how the track opens up as it enters the corner. You see the track down in 3 and 4. We'll see it kind of stays the same distance, if not closes in just a little bit with that much tighter radius down there in 3 and 4. Ford Mustang pace car lights are out in front of the field. That means Isaac Morris, your race leader, will have control over the field. We'll bring them back to the green flag this time by. First caution flying on lap number 8 here tonight from Twin Ring Motegi. In Velocity Online Racing, Apex Sage Coaching 300. Very early caution. Drivers looking to space them out. Man at the front had a big-time lead. Can he get that lead back? We'll wait to see as the pace car ducks off of the track. Things ready to go back. Green flag racing and on the gas. Green flag flies. Once again here at Twin Ring Motegi, and Isaac Morris set sail once again. Battle is for that second position on track. There you can see Luis Gonzalez. He's got Gavin Sanders just behind him, all over him right now. I tell you what, why don't we go down on board with one of our nose cams here with the driver in that third position, Gavin Sanders right there. There you can see him trying to chase down Luis Nunez. Want to give a big time shout out to Gavin Sanders and his entire crew, letting us put those great cameras down there on his Dallara IR18 just behind them. There you can see Dakota DeMage and Nick DeGroot battling for the final slot inside the top 5, switching positions. Now DeGroot goes to 4th. DeMage looks for the crossover, not going to have it. DeGroot going to stay right there in the 4th spot. Your top 4 are already beginning to separate themselves from most of the pack. Alex Van de Zandt right there behind. Julian Altena 2 by 2 just behind them. Christopher Kresge, Oscar Fredrickson, they're battling for the 8th and 9th position. That's starting to sort itself out, beginning to get single file back there. Oh, close moment as Van de Sande almost into the back of Altena. Back at the front of the field, Isaac Morris has stepped away once again. 1 second advantage as he crosses the line to begin lap 18 out of the 120 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. We'll run back through your top 5 as we were trying to do earlier before that first caution. Still leading the race after taking the pole and leading the entire race, the 63 of Isaac Morris. Driver sitting in that second spot there. You can see him, the 15 of Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Driver taking it to a victory lane last week, looking to replicate that once again. Just behind him, running in third there, you can find Gavin Sanders right on the heels. Fresh into them podium positions. Gavin with a great run so far here tonight. Just behind him, driver of the 98 for Velocity Racing, Nick DeGroot. 82 machine being piloted by Nick DeMage right there from Sunset Arctic. Fine run slotting in that 5th and final top 5 position. Multiple battles still on track. We'll jump back here a little further through the field, just outside of your top 10. Robert Sadler, Thomas Gessler, as well as Dave Stedman, Oscar Gonzalez right there behind them. Victor Santos in tow as well. Short distance back, about a half a second back, you can find Shane Coogan, as we've got a 3-wide battle there between Stedman, Gonzalez, and Santos. Santos goes to the bottom, still 3 wide. Look at that beautiful shot coming off of turns 1 and 2, still 3 wide for the moment. Santos thinks better of it. He's going to back out. Now look back to the bottom. He'll go side by side with Gonzalez once again, who's still hanging tough on the outside. Now looking to fill the spot, jumping to the outside. Santos side by side now with Stedman. A little further up through the field, just inside of your top 8, Oscar Fredrickson running in that 8th spot. He's got Christopher Kresge as well as Robert Sadler in tow. There you can see these drivers battling hard as Thomas Gessler right there trying to take the position away from Sadler. Now dropping to the inside. He's going to make the pass off of turn 4, put Sadler back to 11th. Gessler breaks in to the top 10. Great run by multiple drivers out there so far here tonight. We've got big time movers through the field. Oscar Gonzalez taking 12 positions from where he started tonight's race, up pretty much halfway through the field. 25 drivers took to the starting grid tonight. We've still got 24 drivers on track, 23 on the lead lap, and Gonzalez now up into the top 12. Back towards the front of the field, enjoying a big race lead, 1.9 seconds now knocking on the door. Well, there it is, the 2-second interval between your race leader. Back to this man on screen here, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, struggling to find pace, struggling to find a way to run down your race leader. Gavin Sanders still in tow, still trying to take that second spot away, but just not able to find the pace. So we'll jump a little bit further back through the field as Oscar Fredrickson begins to close in on Julian Altena. Altena was having a strong battle there with Alexander Van de Sande, but Alex was able to step away from Altena. Altena now 1.7 seconds back behind Van de Sande and falling into the clutches of Fredrickson. crossing the line that time by to begin lap number 27 out of the 120 scheduled in the official race distance. We still stay green flag racing since the drop of the flag after our first and only caution here tonight. Flying very early, lap number 8 here tonight. First time a caution. Matt Houston goes around contact with the inside safer barrier. Few drivers caught up in some other incidents. Looks like Michael Jeffries was involved with an incident, but separately a little bit earlier. No caution flag flying for that race incident, so Jeffries back behind pit wall, the only driver not on the track. Back to the front of the field where the gaps begin to get bigger. Nick DeGroot right there now falling to the wayside, not going to be there to battle with Sanders, as Sanders has stepped out to a 1.7 second race advantage. Multiple second gaps between the entire top 5. Isaac Morris enjoys, and caution flag flies. Paul Rodriguez looks like he may have went around, and there you can see heavy damage on Rodriguez's Dallara IR-18. We'll take a look back here. Oh, and looked like one driver getting loose, and looks like that was actually 2 separate incidents going on. Oh, we'll take one more look at it here. Try to see who that was on the binders, on the brakes, and loose right there. There you can see him. I believe that we'll take one more look at that before we call anybody out there on the track, but it looks like maybe, and I just can't tell who that was right there. And it looks like maybe Gary Godso was the driver involved. Gonna take one more look back here at the caution flag, see. And yes, it was indeed Godso with some, no, actually Godso goes right by that driver. Tough break there as all the drivers gonna head down pit road this time by. Will rejoin the field back up at the front, all the drivers down on pit road. After a long green flag run here at Twin Ring Motegi for Apex Sage Coaching 300, we're going to take a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Back track side as the field continues under caution here. Excuse me. Under caution here tonight. Looks like we have a few drivers gambling a little bit. Jamie Jenkins right there in front of the field. He'll have control of the restart if he elects to stay out. Looks like Jenkins actually going to come to pit road this time by, so he'll bring his 2 machine down pit road. Staying out, leading a lap here, grabbing a bonus point early is Jenkins. And that's going to put the field back into the hands of the man that's been at the front of the field the entire race so far here tonight, walking away with the pole position. Now, continuing to lead the field, driver of that 63 machine, Isaac Morris, has made the most of the opportunity here tonight. Race fans, he has made his way into tonight's race by making it through the qualifying sessions required throughout the week here for Velocity Online Racing. So big shout out and hats off to Isaac Morris and the other 5 drivers that made it their way in through those qualifying races. Gavin Sanders, as well as Alex Van de Sant, Robert Sadler, Dakota DeMage, Oscar Gonzalez, also one of those drivers racing his way in to be able to have a shot at a running here tonight at Twin Ring Motegi. We find ourselves under caution for the second time here tonight, very early. Pace car lights are off. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing this time by race fans. Pace car down and away. Field working their way off of turn number 4. We're going to get set to go back. Green flag this time, waiting on your race leader to hit the gas, and green flag flies once again here from Twin Ring Motegi Speedway for the Apex Sage Coaching 300. Trying to find a way to be faster, trying to find a way to get up to the front. Apex Sage Coaching can help you find those final few hundredths, final few tenths, and take you to the front of the field. Whether you're a vet or a rookie, they've got a way to improve your times, improve your running. Check them on out over on Twitter, Apex Sage Coach. Twitter handle over there. Go ahead and message them, hit them on up. Tell them Velocity Online Racing sent you. Back at the front of the field, Isaac Morris continues to try to grow that race lead. Lap number 35 out of the 120 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. The gap already over a half a second and knocking on the door of 1 second already after a quick jump back to the green flag for the Velocity Online Racing. Drivers out there on track here tonight. Doesn't look like things changing very much as far as track conditions out there. Air temperature, track temperature staying relatively close to what it has been all night. We'll continue to watch some of the battles on track. Gonna go back here to this big scrum going on as these drivers continue to battle for position on track. We're gonna throw up some intervals for you there. 7th, 8th, and 9th all over each other. Fredrickson, Santos, and Gonzalez battling it out right now for a spot in the top 7. Gessler just in front of them on the rear spoiler of Altena. Altena trying to make his way up inside the top 5, and he's finally been able to do so here tonight, running just in front of this pack that's on screen. We'll go up here with Altena as he's got Gessler right there on his rear deck lid, rear spoiler, I should say. No deck lid here in the Dallara IR18s. And to the bottom goes Gessler, and it looks like Altena just kind of going to give that spot, give the line to him here. Work to the high side off of turn 3 and 4, and big run for Gessler. He's on his way to the front of the field. Jamie Jenkins right there losing some time now, being scored as the first car down 1 lap after trying to stay out in leading a lap under caution. That's going to backfire and go the wrong way for Jenkins. Not much going on at the front of the field. Isaac Morse continues to lead tonight's race, 1.3 second race advantage. Gavin Sanders has a 1.2 advantage over Luis Gonzalez Nunez, who's got Dakota Damage right there breathing down his neck, but almost a second back. I say breathing down his neck because it's under a second, but it's knocking on the door of that gap where you slowly start losing the slipstream, especially at a tough track like Twin Ring Motegi. The slipstream can come in big. The draft, if you will, in the 10 tops, that's what we call it, the draft. Here, open wheel style, it's the slipstream. So trying to keep Dakota Damage just outside of that slipstream advantage. Not having much luck doing so right now. Julian Altena, he's closed the distance a little bit on Gessler. Gessler was able to make his way around Altena, and then Altena has slowly picked up the pace. And just as I say that, Santos drops to the bottom. He's looking to take the 6th spot away from Altena. Santos slotting himself into that 6th spot. Altena now falling through the field, down 2 positions from where he started tonight's race. Back running in the 7th position. Gotta look out because there's more battles going on. Gonna jump back here with this 2 and 3 car battle. That's for a 10th spot. Oscar Gonzalez all over Christopher Kresge. Kresge all over Coogan. Those 2 drivers battling it out just in front of Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez, who runs in the 11th spot in the 11 car. Altena making a move, and Kresge paying for it back behind him. Has to get out of the gas just a little bit here. Oscar Fredrickson gonna make his way around Altena, and Altena is moving backwards through the field. Shane Coogan now dropping back just a little bit. What's going on with Julian in that one machine? Seems to be struggling quite a bit here tonight at Twin Ring Motegi, out there near that outside wall. Wonder if that right side has gotten into that outside wall at some point in time here. It does seem to be right there on pace. You can see the mile per hour down there mirroring the drivers around him. And oh, caution flag flies. Chris Scala has had some trouble. Let's look back here, see what happened with our turn 3 replay. Oh my goodness, and Scott, slight contact. Well, that's going to be a lot more contact than some slight contact. Luckily, though, for Scala, he was definitely able to minimize the damage there. But still, any damage is bad damage, as that 63 race first Delara IR18 continues to lead the field. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, then head right on back for the Apex Sage Coaching 300 live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network from Twin Ring Motegi. Don't go anywhere, race fans. Will be right back. back track side as the Ford Mustang pace car lights have gone out. We're set to go back green flag racing this time by. Field still in the hands of your pole sitter, your race leader, Isaac Morris. In that 63 machine, he has been sporty all night, looking for another great restart. And I tell you what, race fans, we're going to give you a little something different for this restart. We're going to go jump to one of our onboard cameras looking back at the field here. We'll wait for the field to work their way to turn number 4, work their way off of turn number 4, I should say, before we head down to this great camera shot. Do want to give a big shout out to everybody back there at Raceverse, and with that 63 machine allowing us to put this great camera shot on board. Your race leader right here, bringing the field to green. Great look back at the field here in the Apex Sage Coaching 300 at Twin Ring Motegi. Race leader on the gas. Green flag flies once again. There you see the gap he gets right off the gate. Man, dropping the hammer and saying goodbye to the field. Your race leader steps away to a good advantage already. Drivers still battling for positions back through the field. There's Oscar Fredrickson. He's got himself a slight advantage over over Chad Lurdy, I should say, back here battling with Nick DeGroot. You'll see them. Oh, and into the wall goes Lurdy. Hard into that outside wall goes Lurdy. Looks like drivers all making their way by. Oscar Gonzalez makes his way by as well. Looks like some of those technical bugs coming back for just a brief moment. Things sorting themselves out now. Looks like everything's good to go. Still battling for spot inside that top 5, though, is Oscar Gonzalez. He's just right there. Oh my goodness, big time move. Super loose. Back behind the field, dropping through the field now goes Lurdy. Gonzalez right there with Kresge trying to take that spot away. He'll look to the high side, make the pass off of 2. Put Gonzalez into the top 10 slot. Kresge back to the 11th spot. Back at the front, though, battles have not died yet. Here's a battle for the 3rd spot. Dakota Damage right there all over Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Nunez trying to repeat a podium performance last week, walking away with the race win. Not up there able to battle for the race lead just yet, but he continues around the track as we have worked our way just outside of the halfway point. Lap 54 out of the 120 scheduled in tonight's official race distance already underway. Drivers going to continue to make their way around the track here tonight as we continue to sort some more bugs and issues out. Gonzalez right there still running inside that top 10. He's made his way up inside the top 10 after starting way back in the 24th position. Was up to 12th before that last caution flag flew. Now Isaac Morris continuing to lead the field, and we're continuing to have a little bit of these woes as we continue green flag racing here tonight from Twin Ring Motegi. Continuing around the track with your race leader up at the front of the field. The drivers continue to try to put down these fast laps, continue to try to stretch the gaps. Your race leader continues to try to step away from the field at the front. Nobody has got anything for your race leader just yet as we continue green flag racing after our 3rd caution here. Closing in on the distance halfway in tonight's Apex Sage Coaching 300, 120 laps scheduled in tonight's official race distance here in Velocity Online Racing at Twin Ring Motegi Speedway. Round number 2 in the season number 2 for all of these drivers. We continue this run. Your race leader, man, he has stepped out to a big lead now, upwards of 1 second, as he continues to try to stretch it over the field. Luis Gonzalez Nunez still back there in that third spot. Small battle back here. Thomas Gessler, he's trying to close the gap, close the distance on the drivers in front of him. That's Oscar Fredrickson, has Oscar Gonzalez just behind him. So Thomas in a little bit of an Oscar situation here. Nick DeGroot just in front of them. Victor Santos running in that 5th and final spot in your top 5. Looks like they say all the wires plugged back in, everything good to go if we want to go back through it. So we'll attempt to go back through some things, give you your running order up at the top of the screen. There you can see it beginning to scroll back across the screen once again. And just like that, some issues one more time. So we'll try to reset that one more time here for you race fans. Do apologize. Isaac Moore still at the front, though, continuing to dominate. 1.7 seconds now separate your race leader from the rest of the field. Small battle developing right here. Here you can find Oscar Gonzalez. He's slowly starting to close the distance on Thomas Gessler, running in that 8th position. Gessler slowly trying to close the distance on Fredrickson as well. There you can see him trying to snake his way down the front stretch, trying to break a little bit of that draft. Not able to do so just yet, so he'll stay in line, and Gonzalez going to stay right there with him down the back stretch, heading back in to turn number 3 once again. Oscar Gonzalez trying to take that spot away from Gessler, and Gessler continuing to run that low lane through 3 and 4. Loses a little bit of ground each time to Oscar Fredrickson, but he's able to keep Oscar Gonzalez right there behind him. So I guess it's a win-win, so to speak, there for Gessler. He keeps the spot. Just in front of them, we'll go up here to Oscar Fredrickson, who's slowly trying to close in on Nick DeGroot. 1.4 seconds separate those two striders on track. Looking through the field, doesn't look like we've got too many close battles going on. We'll jump back here to this one between Dave Stedman. He's got about a half a second before he can get up there to Robert Sadler. Julian Altena just in front of Sadler. Altena running just outside the top 10 in the 11th spot. Try to throw up your race standings once again for you. There you see them on the left-hand side of your screen. And oh my goodness, there's the dreaded tab bar that has been plaguing the overlay world as of late. Will continue about our business at the front of the field, still with a 1 second advantage over Gavin Sanders is Isaac Morris, and those two drivers, as I already said multiple times here, making the most out of their opportunity to run. Both of those drivers driving their way up and inside to be able to race in the field here tonight. So driving their way through the field in the earlier qualifying sessions, scattered throughout the week earlier this week here for Velocity Online Racing, and now continuing to assert themselves at the front of the field, your race leader Isaac Morris. There you can see him, he's closing in on some lap traffic. Gavin Sanders back there now slotting in just underneath 1 second mark here tonight in the Apex Stage Coaching 300 at Motegi. Apex Sage Coaching, are you looking for the next level in your racing experience? Can you get to the front of the field looking to shave those final few tenths off? Well, you can hit up Apex Sage Coaching. They specialize in helping drivers achieve their full potential. Whether you're a rookie starting out or a veteran driver, Apex Sage will help you find those precious few hundredths of a second and get you up to the front of the field. Message them on Twitter at Apex Sage Coaching. Back off of turn number 4, back across the line once again. Lap number 70 out of the 120 scheduled in tonight's official race distance now underway. Your race leader, Isaac Morris, continues to just pick him up and lay him down. Nobody with anything for that 63 so far here tonight. We'll jump back now. Look at Nick DeGroot as he's slowly closing in on Victor Santos. That's going to be a battle for that final top 5 position here tonight. Very coveted positions, or points I should say. Drivers trying to get all they can, looking through timing and scoring. We do have 2 or 3 other small battles on track, so we'll go back, join those. One of them still Thomas Gessler closing in on Fredrickson, and then he's got this man on screen right here, Oscar Fredrickson, or Oscar Gonzalez. I apologize, Oscar Gonzalez just behind Gessler, trying to close in the distance on him. Half a second separates Gonzalez from Gessler. Another driver closing in for position. Robert Sadler slowly but surely clawing away at the gap between himself and Julian Altena. Altena in that one machine, trying to make his way back inside the top 10, sitting in the 11th spot as we've got a driver to pit road. Chad Lordy brings his Delara to a pit road. We'll have to wait and see if it's for regular service or if that car is damaged and out of tonight's race. We've seen Lordy with some issues earlier tonight. Alex Van de Sand also down to pit road this time by. So is this the final stop for those two drivers? We'll have to wait and see if that's how it all shakes out, see if that's how it goes. Morris opening up the gap at the front of the field while we've got drivers coming to pit road. There you see your race leader still back at the front of the field, still in control. Easily in control, I might add. Lap 75 out of 120 scheduled in the official race distance here tonight. Your race leader, Isaac Morris, has been class of the field here tonight. Enjoys a 1.4 second race advantage over Gavin Sanders. Luis Gonzalez Nunez right there in third. Fourth place belongs to Dakota Damage. Rounding out your top 5 for the moment, Victor Santos. He's been able to open that gap back over Nick DeGroot. Back running in the 6th spot. DeGroot slowly made his way up there towards Santos, but now falling back during this long green flag run. The drivers last onto pit road on lap number 71. Alex Van de Sand as well as Chad Lurdy. Both of those drivers scheduled pit stops for both of them. Lurdy on to pit road for just a little bit longer, fixing some small damage. Looks like Gary Gatto also down onto pit road. Lap number 67 for what may be his final pit stop here tonight in the Apex Sage Coaching 300 at Twin Ring Motegi. Gonna go back to this battle right here, the only battle to speak of really on track as we run right now. Oscar Gonzalez continuing to try to take that spot away from Thomas Gessler, not being able to do so just yet, but continues to try to chase that driver down. Gonna go down on board now with the driver of that 11 machine. Oscar Gonzalez makes his way down the front stretch now, trying to run down Gessler. Drivers continue green flag racing here. Pit stops have begun for multiple drivers out there as Oscar Gonzalez continues to try to take some spots away. Looks like we have a few drivers with some connection issue there. Blinking just in front of these two drivers was Oscar Fredrickson, and Fredrickson has slowed down significantly, and these two drivers are right there all over him. Shane Coogan also closing in some distance. Look at this. Not sure what has happened, but Fredrickson has given up a ton of time. Gessler losing some ground. Oscar Gonzalez now fighting side by side, trying to make their way by one of the lap cars here tonight. Down and around the back marker, and away they set sail once again. Thomas Gessler trying to close some distance, not able to do so just yet, now losing some ground, 1.9 seconds back from Oscar Fredrickson. Stepping away from the field with a big time gap, man at the front. Lap number 83 now underway for your race leader, Isaac Morris, who's dominated tonight's race. And I don't even know how to describe this performance. He has led pretty much every single lap. I think he's missed maybe 2 or 3 laps during the caution pit cycles. But this man, he has been on a tear. And coming to pit road this time by is your race leader, Isaac Morris. Going to come to pit road this time by after Gavin Sanders, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, and Christopher Kresge all to pit road that last time by. That's going to put the field in the hands of the new man at the front, Dakota Damage. Going to take over the race lead. Victor Santos going to slot right there in the second position, and it looks like Dakota having some issues. He's going to continue to stay out on the track. How long will that 82 stay out on track? How long is he willing to make this run last? Gonna have the freshest tires after he comes off of pit road, but will he have enough time for those fresh tires to matter? Looks like he's going to the bottom of the track, gonna peel off, come to pit road this time by Nick DeGroot. He'll stay out on the racetrack. He'll inherit the race lead as Damage there. You can see him down on pit road. DeGroot gonna cross the line, lead a lap here. Gessler back there running in the second position. There you can see Gessler and Oscar Gonzalez just behind them. Shane Coogan in tow, now running in the fourth spot. Julian Altena still out there on track. Now breaking inside of the top 5. Just behind Altena is Robert Sadler. Tyler Coogan still out there on track as well. And it looks like we've got a driver into the wall. I think Dave Stedman may have had some issues and in the wall. Looks like we stay green flag racing for the time being. Oscar Santos having some troubles A little bit of blink action here going on. Julian Altonus, Shane Coogan, both of those drivers staying out on track. And it looks like caution flag has indeed come out for Chris Scala. We'll take a look back, see how all this took place. And there you can see Scala into the wall, heavily damaged, and the sim not really liking it. That's going to put the field back to a crawl back up behind the Ford Mustang pace car. That all happened at a pretty bad time for some of these drivers. They were already down and off of pit road, lost a lap. We'll have to wait and see what some of these drivers do. Your top 7 drivers still yet to hit pit road. Thomas Gessler, Oscar Gonzalez, Shane Coogan, Julian Alton, Robert Sadler, Tyler Coogan, as well as John Christensen, all with an advantage here. They're going to be able to come to pit road, come back out and start in front of the drivers that have already been down and off of pit road. Few of those drivers are going to be able to possibly come back down pit road with them. Looks like Gavin Sanders, Isaac Morris, and Dakota Damage may have an opportunity to re-pit here, get fresh tires, and be back on the same tire and fuel strategy as your race leaders. And indeed, multiple drivers coming to pit road, so that's going to give multiple drivers the wave around. Isaac Morris going to stay out on the track to inherit the race lead once again after what should be the final stop in the race for all of these drivers, barring any crazy contacts and chaos. Most of these drivers will be able to make it to the end on the fuel here. We'll have to wait and see how the tires play out for these drivers. A long train of cars in front of your race leader, Isaac Morris, waiting for the wave around. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Then we'll get back trackside for the green flag run to the end of tonight's race, knocking on the door of just 30 laps to go here tonight in the Apex Sage Coaching 300, live from Twin Ring Motegi, here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. back trackside as the Ford Mustang pace car ready to duck off. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing, this time by race fans. Field back in the hands of Isaac Morris, who has control of the race. Fires it off. Green flag back in the air here tonight at Twin Ring Motegi. There you see your race leader firing it off down into turn number 1. Team Race Verse partnership with Sunset Arctic Games. Look at that right there. This man has been at the front, and caution flag flies. Dave Stedman, Christopher Kresge got up in this one. We'll take a look back at this one. Kresge still sideways on the track. Let's take a look back and see what happened here. There you can see Kresge going to the bottom and right into the right front. Oh, Kresge down into Dave Stedman, and into the outside wall goes both drivers. There you see Kresge limping his machine around the track, but he's going to have to bring it to pit road for sure. So we'll jump back up front with the race leader once again, Isaac Morris, as we work our way around the track. Lap number 94 out of the 120 scheduled in the official race distance here tonight. How you doing? How you feeling, race fans? Thanks for joining us all night long here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one that stops by. Fan, friend, family, we appreciate you all each and every time you stop by. Without you, there'd be no us. So, well, don't just give these drivers a thumbs up. Give yourself a thumbs up, pat on the back as well. Big shout out and thank you from each of us to all of you here from Turn 3 Racing Network. 26 laps now remain in the Apex Sage Coaching 300 for Velocity Online Racing Season 2, round number 2 here at Twin Ring Motegi. The Apex Sage Coaching 300 at Motegi. Apex Sage Coaching, are you looking to take your iRacing to the next level? Apex Sage Coaching specializes in helping drivers achieve their full potential. Whether you're a rookie just starting out or a veteran driver, Apex Sage Coaching will help you shave those final tenths on the track. You can message them on Twitter at Apex Sage Coach. Once again, on Twitter, that's Apex Sage Coach. And as we click off the laps and near the final few moments here from Twin Ring Motegi, big shout out to Raceverse for also sponsoring the $100 prize pool in tonight's season top 5 and the Drivers' Championship standings. Do want to take an even bigger moment here for Raceverse to thank Matt for all his commitment to the league and appreciating putting him all the work and putting things together for all the drivers on track. From all the drivers, Matt, appreciate you. Thank you. And thank everybody back at Raceverse. There you can hear a few drivers happy on the throttle down there, hitting the rev limiters, the pit limiters, I should say. Under caution here, 25 laps now remaining. The witching hour is upon us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, where wins become losses and championship dreams get crushed. Will Isaac Morris be able to continue his dominance here tonight, or will one of the drivers lining up just behind him, Gavin Sanders, maybe Dakota DeMage, possibly Thomas Gessler right there in the 4th spot, Oscar Gonzalez making up a ton of ground. He's now in that 5th and final top 5 spot. Will he be able to do anything with the race leader? We'll have to wait to find out this time by, or next time by, I should say, as the field will get ready to go back. Green flag racing. next time by. There you can see that Ford Mustang pace car off in the distance. Lights gonna go out one more time around, and we'll get back on the gas once again. And while we find ourselves under caution here, gonna go ahead and do a little bit of house cleaning for tonight's Apex Sage Coaching 300. We started tonight with 25 drivers making their way to the starting grid. We have still got 16. It looks like, oh no, I apologize. We have still got right about the 20. Yes, 20 cars out there on the racetrack right now. Still have 14 drivers on the lead lap. Victor Santos, last driver on the lead lap. Gary Gatso scored in the 15th spot. First car off of the lead lap. Field will be in the hands of a familiar face at the front. Isaac Morris continuing to dominate here tonight. Can he get off to another one of those great restarts? We'll have to wait and see. I can't imagine that he's not going to be able to pull off another great restart. We'll wait to see how it all shakes out. Gavin Sanders right there behind him. Field makes their way off of turn number 4, waiting for it. Green flag flies as Morris jumps all over the gas very early, catches the field sleeping. Here comes Thomas Gessler on Dakota Damage. He's going to take that spot away with ease. Oh, and battling back for it. Here comes Damage. He's wanting that third and final podium spot back. That's going to bring Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez right up there in the mix. Don't forget the driver right behind them. That wily, sneaky, very fast Julian Altino right there now knocking on the door of a top 5, once again running in the 6th position. Back at the front, want to keep you in touch with this race battle going on. It is the one for the race lead. Gavin Sanders right there, just half a second back from your race leader. Pushing hard is Sanders, almost into that outside wall off of turn number 4. That's pushing Morse to the max last time by. Fastest lap of the race for your race leader. 28:33. Fastest lap of the entire race coming that time by. So when it's all on the line, Morris putting it all out on track. Gonna look through the field, look at this small battle going on right here. Oh my goodness, cutting right back in front of Gonzalez's Gessler. Gessler trying hard to keep that third and final podium position here tonight in the Apex Sage Coaching 300 at Motegi for Velocity Online Racing Season 2, round number 2. $19 laps remaining in tonight's Apex Sage Coaching 300. Will we be green to the end? No. Caution flag gonna fly. Looks like Shane Coogan may have been involved in this latest incident. That's what we're hearing. There you see Coogan coming to a crawl and a rest down there. Oh, and contact between himself and another driver, and up the track he goes. Oh, hard impact there. We'll take one more look at that. There you see the contact, and oh my goodness. That is a hard impact to the outside wall for Coogan. He is on pit road and out of tonight's Apex Sage Coaching 300. We find ourselves under caution once again here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, only 18 laps to go, 17 when we cross the line this time by. We should go back green flag racing with just under 15 laps remaining. So we're going to take a brief commercial break, step away from the track, then get ready to run it to the end right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. Back track side front of the field as we get set to go back. Green flag racing here tonight. Field back in the hands of your race leader, Isaac Morris. He continues to dominate here tonight. Just under 15 laps to go here tonight as the field makes their way to turns 3 and 4. We'll wait for the race leader to hit the loud pedal and fire things off once again. He's been able to jump out to some great starts here tonight. Nails the gas. Green flag flies once again here at Twin Ring Motegi. In the Apex Sage coaching 314 laps now remaining for Isaac Morris, and he has led knocking on the door of about 100 laps so far here tonight. Gavin Sanders right there running in a second in tow. Thomas Gessler right there in third. Oscar Gonzalez in the fourth spot. Dakota DeMage rounding out your top five. He's got Julian Altena just behind him. Will we stay clean and green for the final 13 laps here tonight, or will we see that pesky caution flag fly one more time? Small battles all over the field back here. We'll check in with the top 10 battle. Victor Santos right there in ninth battle for that 10th spot. Oscar Fredrickson looking to the bottom, trying to take it away from Tyler Coogan. Gonna do so in 3 and 4. Put Fredrickson into the top 10. Looking around the track, looking around timing and scoring. Small gaps already developing. Looks like there's about a half a second between most of the drivers out there on track. So we will jump back up front with the battle for the race lead. There you can see the man on screen, Gavin Sanders, trying to close the distance, trying to close the gap to the man at the front. Nobody has had anything for Isaac Morris all race long. He continues to lead the front of the field here tonight. Looks like a little lag behind there by the overlay for a brief moment. Still thought we were under caution. We are not under caution. We are still green flag racing here in Velocity Online Racing season number 2, round number 2, the Apex Sage Coaching 300 at Motegi. 10 laps now remaining for your race leader. There you can see him in that 63 race verse. Delara IR18 continues to lead the field, now stretching the gap, almost a 1 second advantage over second place. Sanders right there. Sanders has been inside the top 3 pretty much all race long. Started in the 3rd spot, was able to gain 1 spot up to the 2nd position, but that is pretty much where he has stalled out and stayed because Morris has been the class of the field. Gessler right here slotting inside that final third and that final podium spot in the 3rd position. Oscar Gonzalez right there. Dakota DeMage trying to close the distance as well. Just behind DeMage, you can find Julian Altena in the One Machine last season's champion, trying to turn around last week's tough run, and now falling to the wayside a little bit further back to the 7th spot as Nick DeGroot has been able to make his way by Julian Altena. We'll go back to this battle for the 6th spot on track. DeGroot working that high side. He's going to make the pass that time out of turn number 4. Altena right there in the slipstream, trying to come back, looking to the bottom in turns 1 and 2. Not going to be there, not going to be enough. DeGroot gonna keep that spot. We'll check back in right here with the battle for that final podium position. Only real battle out there on track right now. A little bit further back through the field, John Christensen trying to close some distance on Luis Gonzalez Nunez, last week's race winner. Not having a good go here tonight at Twin Ring Motegi. Gonzalez Nunez sitting back in the 12th spot. Battle still raging here. Oh my goodness, Gessler gets pretty loose off of turn number 2. Gonna snake to the bottom of the track, slide back in front of Oscar Gonzalez. Head back down into turn number 3. Field will make their way by the stripe. High five for your race leader. 5 laps to go here in the Apex Sage Coaching 300. Still continue to watch this battle right here on track. One of your closest battles. There are about 2 more other battles out there on track. We'll check in on them here in just a brief moment. Gessler and Gonzalez snake down the front stretch as Gessler tries to break the slipstream. Lap number 4 underway. Victor Santos, he's going up there. He's going to try to take a spot away from Altena as Altena continues to fall through the running order in the late goings here. 4 laps remaining, now 3 to go as the leader gets ready to cross the line. There it is, 3 laps to go for Isaac Morris. Altona struggling to keep that 7th spot. Looks like Victor Santos going to look to the inside and take that spot away easily going into 1 and 2. So Altona falling through the field, falling from grace early here in season number 2. Back with that battle at the front there, you see Gessler. He's been able to open up the distance just a little bit. Popsicle sticks for your race leader. Just 2 laps remaining for Isaac Morris, and he can put the race a win in his back pocket. He's already put the most laps, led the pole position, as well as leading a lap in his back pocket, and he is now looking to walk away from Twin Ring Motegi with the Apex Sage Coaching 300 trophy, crossing the line. White flag final lap here tonight in the Apex Sage Coaching 300 and Velocity Online Racing Season 2, round number 2, hugging that bottom lane back off of turn 2, enjoying the celebration right here. A little bit of wave down the backstretch out of Isaac Morris down through turn 3, off of 4 for the final time. Gonna cross the stripe, checkered flag in hand for your race winner, Isaac Morris. Walking away in the 2nd spot there, you see the driver just behind him, Gavin Sanders, right there, but just nothing for him all race long. Thomas Gessler right there as well, slotting home in 3rd. Big time finish for Gessler. Just behind them, Oscar Gonzalez. Gonzalez will finish in 4th. 5th place goes to Dakota Damage. Heck of a run, heck of a race up there at the front of the field for the man on screen, your race winner, Isaac Morris, getting the job done. And that 63 machine shot out big time. Shout out to him for his dominating performance after racing his way in for a chance to be here and race tonight earlier through the week in the qualifying session. So big time shout out to the driver inside that 63, enjoying his celebration and victory right now on track, taking a few more laps. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to step away, get things set up for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back with your podium finishing drivers in just a moment. back trackside here as the fans begin to take their photo opportunities, begin to file out of the track. Do want to take a minute to thank everybody back at Apex Sage Coaching for sponsoring tonight's Apex Sage Coaching 300 here in Velocity Online Racing. Apex Sage Coaching. If you're looking to take your iRating to the next level, Apex Sage Coaching will help you fulfill your full potential, whether you're a rookie or a vet. Apex can help you shave off those final few tenths. Hit up Apex Sage Coaching on Twitter at Apex Sage Coach. And with that being said, looks like we're going to take a moment here. Let's see if we can't catch in and have a few words with the driver walking away in the third and final podium spot here tonight. Driver Thomas Gessler, how you doing? How you feeling, man?
Everything's fine with me. I didn't expect it. Well,
Well, you didn't expect to go well, but here you are, podium finish. You got to be happy about that.
yeah, that's pretty fine for me. I was, as I said, I wasn't sure. Practice was really not very good. I was struggling with the settings, and yeah, in the race it went pretty well. I was surprised.
Tell the race fans and friends, family out there watching on the YouTube side of things, how was the tire compound, especially dealing with two very different corners here at Motegi?
Tires were pretty good. I was, as I said, I was surprised because I thought my settings would wear up the tires pretty quick. Maybe it did, but we had many yellows, so that was to my favor, I guess.
Well, Thomas, my man, walking away with a great finish here tonight in the podium spots, third place finish. So congratulations on a great run here tonight. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
Yes, of course, I want to thank Julian for putting the league together. He's doing really well, I think. And I want to thank all the guys who make it a good race. And congrats to Isaac again.
All right, my man. Well, once again, congratulations, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next weekend.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
There you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away in the third position here tonight, Thomas Gessler. That's going to bring us to the man walking away in the second position here tonight. Let's see if we can't catch in a word or two with the driver walking away in that second position. Driver of the Ninda machine, Gavin Sanders. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, my man, how you doing? How you feeling after a good, solid run all race long? You were up inside of that top three. You just quite couldn't get there.
Yeah, it was really difficult with the aero push. I think if both ends of the track looked like 3 and 4, I probably would have had a much better shot. But being within a second of the car in front really hindered you through 1 and 2. So it was more a battle to kind of hold on to second and then hope that lap traffic or something got in the way. But clearly it didn't. But Isaac did a great job all race and just really managed it well. So.
Well, Gavin, walk us through how you prepare for a track like a twin ring Motegi. It's pretty much an anomaly to itself, kind of a familiar layout to Darlington, but much tighter racetrack than Darlington Motor Speedway. So just walk the race fans out there on YouTube. How do you prepare for such a unique track here like Motegi?
I'd say it definitely takes a lot more preparation with the roll bars and the weight jacker, and actually the brake bias as well plays a huge role at this track. Definitely put in a lot of hours. I wasn't even qualified for the event, so I spent a lot of time Thursday and Friday trying to get into the special six to actually advance to the race, and then from there I just kind of worked on my race pace and feeling what the dirty air felt like. But with two corners that are so drastically different, it definitely takes a lot of just practice laps and understanding where the limit of grip is and how to kind of optimize it with all the tools you have in the car.
Well, optimizing your opportunities here tonight, that's for sure. As you already said, racing your way in through the qualifying earlier in the week and making the most of it here, walking away with a second place finish, keeping the focus all race long, up inside the top podium positions all race long. So once again, Gavin, congratulations on a great second place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of the car?
I definitely like to shout out my sponsors in my real racing, Fat Bastard Burrito and Saybelt Canada, and then big shout out to I think my dad and people, some friends are watching, so shout out to them. Thanks for paying attention. So
All right, Gavin. Well, once again, congratulations, my man, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next race weekend.
sounds great. See you next week.
There you go. There you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away in the second position here tonight. Driver of that 90 machine out of Canada, Gavin Sanders. Well, that's going to run us down to just one more to go. We got to get to the most important man of the hour, walking away with the race win in dominant fashion here tonight. Isaac Morris getting the job done all race long. Let's see if our race winner is ready. Gavin Morris, is Dave in the booth? You got a copy?
I do. Yes, I am here.
Hey, man, great win, dominating out there tonight after having to race your way in through the special 6 races earlier in the week. Walk us through how you were able to get through that and then reset the mind and just stay focused, cold-blooded all night long and lead almost the entire race.
So Thursday was a bit of a worrying day because there was I hadn't done any practice prior to Thursday, so coming into Thursday was a big gamble. Trying to figure everything out so quickly because there's only so much you can do. But luckily, Matt, my teammate, he already had some information about the track and what to run, so that saved a lot of time. So then we could focus on like race runs, and then we had the first shootout, which was quite tense because it was very close between Alex, myself, and Dakota, I believe. I can't remember exactly. And then Friday comes along, and we had like this the same situation almost. But yeah, I was really happy to qualify for the race. I really didn't expect it because the field is so competitive, and with everyone that was in the special 6 shootout, it was looking very slim. But I really pulled something out of the bag last night and Thursday to get here to win this race today.
Well, man, however you got the job done out there tonight, kudos to you, man, because as I said, it was a dominating performance from yourself and the 63 crew, able to lead pretty much the entire race. So from going from not being sure to dominating, at what point tonight did you think you actually had this thing in the bag?
Lap 120.
Wait until it's all over, huh?
Yeah, honestly, this track is so misleading. Brake too late into 3 on the power, too early in 4, and that could be it. That could be race over. So you really have to find a rhythm to get this track flowing. And I was really thankful I found my rhythm nice and early. And it was really good as well that the traffic wasn't a big pain because the dirty air in this car around this track is phenomenal. Like, you just understeer so much. So the lap traffic was amazing tonight. They got out of the way. There was communication between the leaders and the lap traffic. So, it made life a lot easier. And plus as well, speaking of the dirty air, I think that's what gave me such a big advantage because I ran, I'd say like 90% of the racing clean air, so I didn't have to really worry about my tires or a car in front of me, and I didn't have to worry about adjusting my my input due to traffic or a car ahead.
Oh, Isaac, not having to worry much at all race long. As I said, what a dominating performance out there tonight.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations. Before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that car?
So obviously, at first I want to give Matt Houston, Race First Team Boss, a huge thank you for letting me run with his team this season in VOR. Also want to thank Sunset Arctic Games for sponsoring Race First. Also, I'm going to say kind of myself because of Apex Sage coaching. I sponsored the race tonight, so it's kind of fitting that I won tonight's race. And yeah, I just want to thank everyone who came out to watch tonight. I want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. I'm not too sure if he's still watching. I want to thank my brother as well. Like he should be watching. But yeah, just a big thank you to everyone who helped and got me into the position I was in tonight. So yeah. And I want to say congrats to Dakota as well, because he did an amazing job, and coming from the Special 6 as well with me to finish in the top 5, I believe, is just goes to show that us drivers aren't here to mess around.
Not messing around at all, my man. Well, once again, congratulations on a great run, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next race week.
Thank you.
There you have it. Final few parting words from the driver that walked away from the track in the top spot here tonight for Apex Sage Coaching 300 in Velocity Online Racing's season number 2, round number 2, already done, already out of the way. Second different race winner so far this season, and it looks like the producer's hitting the buttons in the background. So you know what that means, race fans. It's time to run down your unofficial race results for tonight's Apex Sage Coaching 300 Velocity Online Racing season number 3, round number 2. Isaac Morris taking the top spot away in his 63 machine after a dominant performance. Walking away in the second position, driver of the 9 machine, Gavin Sanders. Thomas Gessler right there in his 18. Gonna round out the podium positions tonight. The 11 of Oscar Gonzalez gonna finish in 4th, walking away with a top 5. Dakota Damage. Nick DeGroot gonna finish in 6th. Victor Santos slotting home in the 7th position. Last season champion Julian Altino with some trouble tonight, finishing back in the 8th spot. Robert Sadler gonna bring his 6th machine home in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 here tonight, the 12 of Oscar Fredrickson. Tyler Guggen and John Christensen make up the top 12. Luis Gonzalez Nunez gonna slot his 15 home in the 13th spot. Alex Van de Zandt gonna finish first car off the lead lap in the 14th spot. Gary Godso right there in 15th. 16th goes to Dave Stedman. Matt Houston walking away in the 17th spot. Christopher Kresge brings his 16 home in the 18th position here tonight. 19th goes to Chad Lordy. Jamie Jenkins right there in the 20th spot. Shane Coogan, Pau Rodriguez with some trouble tonight finishes 32 laps down in the 22nd position. The 24 of Chris Scala gonna walk away from Motegi in the 23rd spot. 24th goes to Jim Herrick. Michael Jeffries finishes in 25th. 26th goes to the 14 machine. Man, what a race it was here tonight, race fans, from Twin Ring Motegi, live for the Apex Sage Coaching 302. Want to give a big shout out to Race Averse for all they do, sponsoring the top 5 prize pool, the $100 prize pool this season for Velocity Online Racing. Big time shout out to Race First, as well as Matt Houston for all his commitment to the league. Thank you from not just myself, but all the drivers out there on track. Matt, a big shout out to everybody back at Race First. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all she wrote. Nothing more to do here but roll up some wires. We'll get set and ready to fire things back off next Saturday night. So until then, it's a new year, but stay safe, stay loved. Until then, my friends, we'll meet you in Turn 3.